What's going on, everyone? This is Helen Yee with Eyes on the Game. And as you all know, being here in Las Vegas, of course, I love MMA, boxing, pro wrestling, even the Cirque shows. So that's why I'm so honored and excited to have on the show today former WWE superstar and now Cirque du Soleil superstar from CA, Barri Griffiths, joining me on the line right now. What's going on?
Hey, Helen. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, but I did interview you a little while back, I think when you first started CA. So now I kind of, want to follow up and see how's everything been going, because it's almost been 2 years now, right, that you've been part of the show?
Yeah, absolutely crazy. It's hard to believe I've been here 2 years. It feels like I just got here, to be honest with you, but when you excuse me, when you enjoy what you're doing and you're having the time of your life, time goes by so quickly. So it's been a crazy 2 years, and it's hard to believe. I'm sure I've done close to 1,000 shows by now, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
Wow.
But yeah, everything's going great. I'm absolutely loving life here in Las Vegas and with Cara and the Cirque family, and just having the time of my life every night, putting on a great show and having so much fun with my friends backstage.
And you mentioned, basically about 1,000 shows. That is unbelievable. But has anything surprised you, or what has surprised you the most about being a Cirque performer?
Good question. Truthfully, when I came here, I didn't know too much about Cirque. I obviously knew about the Cirque brand and kind of what it was about. But just learning so much about Cirque and kind of what it does for its employees and kind of all the charitable stuff has been really cool to see, and kind of to roll with kind of a little bit of a different crowd. People here who come to work for Cirque are a little bit different to wrestlers. I think they're, no offense to wrestlers, because I was one and I'm still one, they're not as cultured as the people here. I've really enjoyed learning about the different cultures and kind of the different way of life that people like to live here, and it's kind of been really interesting to me to kind of meet people from all walks of life here and kind of understand that, how they've lived their life and how they've got to here. And, there's a lot of Olympians and world champions and people from Asia, people from Russia, all over Europe, all over the U.S., Australia, you name it. It's really crazy here. So that's kind of been really cool to see and kind of be part of a, even though wrestling is a show and it's not really theater, kind of, to be part of a theater show and kind of see how that goes down and see the crew behind the scenes and see the show here. CA itself is just an amazing show in terms of not only the people that are in it, like I mentioned, world champions and people who've been to the Olympics and stuff like that, the best of the best, but also the crew that works behind the scenes putting on this amazing show. There's two, I always say there's two shows going on at CA. There's one that you see, and then there's one that, behind the curtain or below the stage that are going on, people moving stuff around and just constantly working to make the show look so good and be a huge success as it is.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, probably a very diverse yet talented group of people. But like you mentioned, now essentially kind of, living and residing here in Vegas to do the shows. What has life been like adjusting to this city?
It hasn't been too bad, actually. So before, I think I'd been here twice before I actually moved here, and literally I was here in and out. So I didn't even go here and party or anything crazy like that. But obviously, I always thought that Vegas was, the stereotypical hangover thing. You go get drunk and lose all your money, and and go end up in a hotel room with Mike Tyson and a tiger and all that kind of stuff. But living here, I've always lived kind of on the outskirts in the kind of Henderson area, Green Valley area, and kind of it really isn't different to any other city, I think, in the U.S. in that kind of aspect. When you live, you just, people are working every day and doing their own thing. And, yeah, you have the craziness of the Strip that everybody knows, and people come here all the time for bachelor party, bachelorette parties, and all the things that go along with that. But, there's a lot of people here that just live normal, great lives, and, I think I'm just one of them, and I've really enjoyed it. There's so much more to Vegas than people think. I get it all the time. Even now that people, they're like, "Oh, you must go out all the time." I'm like, actually, I don't think I've been out once since I've been here. But there's so much other stuff, to keep you busy and to have a great time here. And I really enjoy doing all the other stuff, all the other activities that are here in Vegas. And it really is a great city and a great community here that I'm really I was really surprised that when I moved out here.
And I mean, it seems like you kind of came here at the right time, because Las Vegas, it is growing, expanding as a major sports town. And now, we have the inaugural NHL team, the Vegas Golden Knights. What do you think about, all these sports coming and the teams like the Golden Knights and the Raiders following shortly after?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I obviously love sports. Growing up all my life, I've played any kind of sport I can play. It's a shame I didn't grow up in America, I think, actually, because people always tell me I would have been great for football. I might have made a good linebacker, but might have been playing in the NFL. But, yeah, I think it's really because I love sports, so just having all that sports here, to be able to go watch the NHL team, and then when the Raiders come here, the stadium's going to be really cool, and it's going to be awesome kind of watching that, and just kind of also just, it's going to changing the vibe of Vegas a little bit. It's just the city is buzzing now. I can kind of feel it, and it's really cool to kind of see this come along. And also interesting for me, being from the UK, I love soccer, so they're starting a soccer team here in Las Vegas, and I hear they're having open tryouts, so I might pop along and try and get myself in the team. Maybe they need a goalkeeper.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me try to find out for you. But no, you should definitely try. And Barry, I know your schedule's very hectic and you're very busy, but were you able to catch a Golden Knights game yet?
I still haven't been, but I always say that I'm going to go. So for sure, I'm going to go. Hockey is one of my favorite sports, mainly for the fighting, but I also enjoy the sport itself. Yeah. So yeah, 100%. I'm gonna get. I keep saying I'm gonna get a jersey and be a fully fledged Knights fan. So soon enough, I will for sure. And they're doing great at the moment as well, which is a huge bonus. So anytime I can with the schedule and stuff. Obviously, they play a lot at night, so we work a lot of times the games are on. But if not, yeah, definitely try and catch the games on TV.
Yeah, and hey, speaking of, kind of becoming a Golden Knights fan, that they, it's called the Knight, or you get knighted at the games. Like they convert people into Golden Knights fans. So, I mean, just kind of throwing that out there if you ever want to turn into a Golden Knights fan. They do that on the big jumbo.
I'd love to be knighted for sure.
Awesome. Yes, I will let them know. And then, also, too, so a bit earlier you mentioned that you're still a wrestler. So are you still doing shows throughout the year, like indie shows, or?
No. Yeah, that was my. What I meant was I'll always be a wrestler. The wrestler was such a huge part of my life. I never want to refer to myself as an ex-wrestler because wrestling is in who I am, and it's kind of got me to where I am, and I'll always be a wrestler. But the schedule we have is too hectic, and truthfully, I'm just completely committed to Cirque du Soleil. I feel like if I was to try to do wrestling on the side or whatever, I wouldn't be able to be as committed and 100% in the show and to kind of be in the full physical state that I want to be by kind of taking independent bookings and stuff like that. So I'm so committed to putting on a great show every night here. This is the only thing I'm really concentrating for now.
So for now, there's kind of like no plans of you going back into wrestling. Like you love Cirque, for
absolutely, absolutely. I have a contract until the end of 2018, and I feel great physically, and I have a great relationship with everyone here. From the management to all the way down to the people behind the scenes, the crew and everything here. So And for the foreseeable future, this is where I'll be. But you know, you never want to say never, and you know, who knows what can happen in the future. But yeah, for sure, I see my future being with Cirque du Soleil.
And for you know, your fans that travel to Las Vegas, or the fans here, which nights can they see your show?
Our shows run from Saturday to Wednesday. We have Thursday and Friday off. We have a show at 7 and at 9:30, so we do 10 shows a week. They can go to cirquedusoleil.com/car if they want to buy tickets. Then ticket starts at $55, which is very reasonable, I think, for such a great show that we put on. So, yeah, definitely come out and see us. Tweet, and anyone who comes, tell them to tweet me or whatever. Maybe I'll be able to take a picture afterwards.
Sounds great. And I have seen the show myself. I may have to go watch it again, but I can vouch and say that it is a great show. And you guys all do such a phenomenal job. And once again, Barri, thank you so much for your time. And congratulations on all your continued success.
Thank you, Helen. Thanks for having me. If you come again, let me know.